What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Carter Scotland Allen here, and today we are taking a look at the fourth installment in the Batman franchise with Batman and Robin. This came out in 1997. Let's not waste any more time and get into this review. So, Batman and Robin, released in 1997, was once again directed by Joel Schumacher. This is his second attempt at directing a Batman film. So just like Tim Burton, he got 2 films to direct. Joel Schumacher got 2 films to direct. This was written by Akiva Goldsman once again, and this time starring George Clooney as Bruce Wayne Batman, which, I'll just let you know now, it's not good. Batman and Robin try to keep their relationship together, even as they must stop Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy from freezing Gotham City. So to start with the directing of this film, I just have to say that Joel Schumacher did a great job compared to Batman Forever. I was not a fan of Batman Forever. I have to say I like everything about this film more, other than George Clooney's version of Batman, as well as just, some of the lines of dialogue. But this is a film that I grew up with watching as a child, so I just have basically just nostalgia glasses for this film, and that's what you kind of have to have when watching this type of Batman, and probably the same thing with Batman Forever, because both of these films are just, they are family movies. They are not meant to be taken seriously. I mean, this film, the opening fight sequence against Mr. Freeze, you have Batman and Robin both wearing ice skates. That sequence alone lets you know what kind of movie you're in for. Overall, the directing was very good. I thought Joel Schumacher did a much better job than in his previous film, Batman Forever. The color was amped up. Like, the whole cinematic style of Batman Forever is still here in Batman and Robin. It's just completely amped up. The set pieces are basically doubled. The cheesy dialogue is doubled, but the overall tone feels a little bit more family friendly than even Batman Forever. So that's why I could handle the cheese more so in this film than in Batman Forever. As for the cast of characters, we have a very stacked film. This had George Clooney as Batman, Chris O'Connell as Robin, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. I mean, that's, for 1997, that is a absolutely stacked cast, and you can imagine the theaters would have been packed for this film. So I had a fun time with it. It's not a movie I need to see again, but this cast makes the film, and I will say my least favorite part is George Clooney as Batman. It's just George Clooney. But Mr. Freeze is great. Poison Ivy, she's fantastic. She gives this kind of similar vibes to Selena Kyle as Catwoman, and that's just due to the fact that they at the time they tend to make the female characters, sexual or appealing, and that's one of the plot points of this film is Poison Ivy making everybody fall in love with her, which worked really well and worked well for the tension between Batman and Robin, and Chris O'Connell and George Clooney's banter back and forth kind of worked, but overall it just felt like a weird uncle and old man-child bickering back and forth. As for the story, I have to say, I like this story more, and I find it more believable than Batman Forever. Batman Forever had the idea of sucking IQ out of people's heads. This film has the idea of basically freezing all of Gotham, and Mr. Freeze does it. He freezes all of Gotham until Batman and Robin can save the day, but I don't know why I thought it just was better. And again, some of the complaints that I had for Batman Forever are some of the positives for this film. Batman Forever felt way too over the top, but this over the top idea of freezing Gotham just for some reason worked for me, and it may be because I still have that childhood attachment that I didn't necessarily have for Batman Forever. But also this film just felt much more quick. It was just paced better over all around, and it's only 3 minutes longer than Batman Forever. So it's 3 minutes longer, and Batman Forever, I could have had 40 minutes cut out. This film, you probably could have cut out, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. The whole bike race with, Batgirl and everything like that. I mean, Batgirl is essentially pointless in the film, but it was a way to, sell more toys at the time, so I get it. But because of the fact that they were trying to make so much money off of merchandising, the film keeps things going because there's different costume changes, different set pieces, everything's constantly changing. So for a film that is not good, it is entertaining because there's so much stuff to look at. The cinematography. It's better than Batman Forever. It's not as good as, either Batman 1989 or Batman Returns. But the world that they have created, that Schumacher has created, is believable. It is some form of Gotham that you could believe. It's over the top. It's campy. It's cheesy. The colors are crazy. It's not necessarily the Gotham that most people would like to see, want to see, or even know. But it's something that people can come out of and know, oh yeah, that looked like that. It has a very significant, very distinct visual style, so you can give credit to the filmmakers there because it is original in a sense. Might not be good, but it is original. And yeah, overall I had fun with it, so let's get into the final thoughts. Okay, so Batman and Robin, 1997. I had a very fun time. Overall, I don't need to see this film again for a very long time, just like, honestly, the 3 other previous Batman films. The 89, 92, 95 Batman films, all of them, including this one, Batman and Robin, I can wait to watch another 10 years probably. I don't see myself watching these films until I have kids. I've said that over and over again, but after watching these, it just reassures that I don't need to see these films until, unless I have a kid that's dying to watch every single Batman film. There's just no reason to watch this when you have films like Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises. So if you are a major Batman fan, you've probably seen this. This is, I want to say it's... So Batman and Robin is streaming on Hulu if you guys would like to go watch it. If you are going to see the new Batman film with Robert Pattinson, you might as well watch the previous Batman films going into it. You don't have to. Because there's most likely going to be no real connections, and it does seem to be pretty standalone, which is a good thing. But if you want to get an idea of what Batman has been like in cinema, this is streaming on Hulu. I wouldn't rent this, so if you don't have Hulu, I wouldn't go rent it. I would save your money for the new Batman film, and I would actually go out into the theaters to enjoy something that's, current and relevant. This film is just not essential. I did have a very fun time. If they re-released this into theaters, I wouldn't go pay to see it. I don't think I would own this film, even though I really enjoyed it as a kid. So far, the only Batman film that I would really even consider buying out of these first 4 in the franchise would be Batman Returns. So that's pretty much it for Batman and Robin. Let me know what you guys thought of the film down in the comments below. I'm Carter Scotland Allen, and I will see you guys in my review for Batman Begins.